Hey everyone, it's Job and I'm back. It's been about 2 weeks since I posted a video and I really want to apologize for that. As you all know, I moved from Korea to Vancouver. I've been living in Korea for almost 2 years and I moved back to my hometown, which is Vancouver, just last week. So the past 2 weeks have been really crazy, but for the most part I'm all settled in. I'm just unpacking a few things as you can see on screen. But let me show you a few things that I hauled that day that I filmed this little journal with me. So I got Rupi Kaur's new book, this Canson XL watercolor pad. I bought some coffee also, and a Winsor Newton ink that I showed earlier, and I also got this black eraser. But let's get started and start journaling. I might be a little bit rusty while recording this voiceover because I haven't filmed or done any video editing for almost 2 weeks now, so I feel like I'm a little rusty. But also, if you've noticed, this microphone is new, so the audio quality, if you're hearing this or listening to this through earphones or headphones, should sound amazing because I'm using a blue Yeti microphone, and I think people use this for podcasts, so it should sound, well, the audio should sound pretty crispy. But I'm rambling, so I should let you know what's happening on the screen. So I put down a light wash of watercolor and I used some blue and green tones, and I put them in a really random placement, but I put that big thick blue line right on the right page to add a little focal point to the spread. And I'm having some milk and cookies while making the spread because my sister baked those just like a few minutes before I created this spread. So they are warm and really tasty, and I'm dipping them in milk. And milk in Vancouver tastes really good for some reason. Maybe I just don't like... No, I do like the milk in Korea. Okay, wait, I'm getting so sidetracked. Let me tell you what's happening on the screen. Can't believe I just rambled about milk. Okay, so I put down that green craft. It's like a craft paper, but it's a little bit translucent, but it's in a green tint. And I glued that down or taped that down onto the spread. And then I use this green grid paper and I kind of cut it into a thin strip to make it look like a washi tape, since I didn't have a green grid washi tape. And now I'm using this Winsor and Newton ink, and I'm gonna script out the date that I filmed this. So I filmed this on Tuesday, October 10th, and I'm gonna sneeze. Let me stop that. Okay, excuse me, sorry, I just had to cut that part out of the voiceover because your ears would have probably bled if you heard how loud that was. But anyways, today I wanted to draw inspiration from Rupi Kaur's new book, and there's this amazing quote or excerpt from the back of the book that I want to script out later. But I really wanted to draw inspiration from this book, so I tried something different and I tried to copy the illustration style that is on the cover, the back cover of the book. And instead of painting it, I thought I would cut out little pieces of paper and try to collage it. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not really collaging in the traditional sense, but I'm just using paper cutouts to create that desired illustration look without actually using my watercolor paints, because I want it to look very crisp and a little bit different to my usual style, because I'm trying to branch out and try different things. So I cut out the stem and the leaves using that same green paper that I used for the top left hand corner of the spread. And then since the flowers on the book cover look like poppies or daisies, I don't know my flowers, guys, I'm sorry, but it's a yellow flower with these black... What is the center of the flower called? The stamen? I feel like I should know that from biology class. But anyways, so the black center of the flower, I ended up using the brown ink and the brown craft paper instead to create the flower, instead of the yellow color that Rupi Kaur used for her cover. And my date finally dried, so I cut that out or tore it out since I like that torn edge look. And then I put this Morris & Co. in collaboration with empty washi tape on the top of the left page, and I kind of covered up the green paper that I pasted earlier, but that's alright since I have some of the green paper on the right hand side, since I'll be using that for the stem and the leaves of the... What am I saying? The stem and the leaves of the flower. Gosh, sorry guys. And then I still wanted to paint since I haven't painted in a while, so I used my Shinhan watercolor palette and I just painted these 2 sets of leaves on to the left hand side of the spread. I'm sorry, I'm so rusty. And I'm just playing around with the placement of this flower, and I ended up putting it on the right hand side of the right page instead of the left hand side of the right page. And then I used a pencil to, I guess, carve is the wrong word, to trace out a little outline so I don't cover the hand lettering that I'm gonna do. So it's kind of just a little guide, and instead of just going straight in with my watercolors, I used a pencil to pencil in the placement of the words, since I have a horrible problem with placement and underestimating the page real estate that I have. So I decided to, oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze again. Sorry about that. I think I have allergies, but let me tell you what I'm writing in my notebook right now. So there is this quote at the back cover of Rupi Kaur's new book called The Sun and Her Flowers, and the quote goes something like this: "This is the recipe of life," said my mother as she held me in her arms as I wept. "Think of those flowers you plant in the garden each year. They will teach you that people too must wilt, fall, root, rise in order to bloom." Rupi Kaur. Isn't that such a good quote? I think it really resonates with me right now, and I know I butchered the reading, but it's what is in the heart of this poem that makes it so great, and I think it just really resonates with me. As I've said earlier, I've gone through a lot of hardships during my 2 years in Korea, and if you've ever lived abroad, you too would know how it feels to be separated from your family and friends and being isolated in a country that doesn't really speak the same language that you do. So it was really hard, but I think those hardships kind of helped me grow as a person and helped me grow as an adult. And although I am no expert in traveling or living alone, I think I've grown a lot as a traveler and as an independent person as well. And it was just a really good experience, and I have wilted, I have fallen, I have rooted, I have risen, and I have bloomed in the last 2 years, and this quote just hits me right in the heart. So yeah, maybe I'm just emotional after my move, or maybe I'm just an emotional person and dramatic person in general. Actually, everyone knows that I'm super dramatic, so maybe that's why, but this quote just resonates with me. And if you haven't read any of Rupi Kaur's work, go read a few of her poems on her Instagram, or just search them up on the internet and read a few, or actually go buy her book called Milk and Honey. That was her first book, and support her because she's such a talented artist, and she has some great illustrations in her novels or in her poetry books as well. So go check them out, and they're really inspirational, especially if you're the same age as me and have been going through a lot of big changes in your life. I feel like most of her poems kind of talk about growth and suffering and adulthood, or blooming into adulthood. So go check that out. I feel like I just gave away my age right there, but yeah, let me stop talking about all this dramatic stuff and let's get to what's happening on the spread. So after brush lettering that quote, I erased the pencil guidelines I placed earlier, and now I'm finally gluing the flower cutout that I created. So the flower, the actual flower part of the flower, oh my gosh, that doesn't make sense. Like the petal part of the flower is finally dry now, so I pasted it with glue, and then I pasted the stem and the leaves using glue as well, and I cut the overhanging pieces off, and I think it looks great. I mean, it's a little lopsided, but it still kind of looks like the flower on the front cover or the back cover of Rupi Kaur's book, and I think it complements the leaves on the left hand side of the spread. And then I put this, I think it's a reddish brown grid washi over top of the green grid paper, and then I put this classic-y green washi on the bottom of the left page. This is the completed spread, and I think it turned out pretty great considering I didn't have all my supplies with me when I filmed this, And I really like that paper cutout technique that I use on the right side of the spread, because it's a great way to use scrap papers and other papers you have lying around. And if you're feeling lazy or you don't feel like using your watercolors, this is a great way to still add some visual interest to your spread and to add florals to your spread if you don't want to use your watercolors. And I hope that if you use this technique, you can tag me or show me through Instagram maybe, I don't know. But yeah, this is the end of this video, and I don't remember my sign off. Oh wait, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with all your stationery obsessed friends. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble, and I hope you like this new mic. Okay, bye!